Fans thought nothing on WWE SmackDown could truly shock them anymore until March 20th, 2026 shattered that belief completely. Because when Jelly Roll stepped into the same arena as Randy Orton, it wasn't a cameo, it was a confrontation that instantly turned explosive. And now the question burning through the WWE universe is simple. Did Jelly Roll just cross a line he can't come back from, or did Randy Orton finally meet someone who refuses to be intimidated? Before going further, answer this. Standing face to face with Randy Orton, would courage take over? Or would instinct say walk away? Drop it in the comments. The atmosphere that night was already intense. The kind of tension where every second feels like something massive is about to happen. The crowd wasn't just watching, they were anticipating chaos. Then, the unexpected hit. Not the chilling presence of Orton. Not a typical WWE superstar entrance. It was Jelly Roll. The reaction? Mixed, loud, and immediate. Cheers collided with boos, and confusion echoed across the arena. Because this didn't feel like entertainment. This felt personal. Jelly Roll walked out with purpose, no smile, no theatrics, no attempt to play to the crowd. His expression made one thing clear. This wasn't about music. This was about confrontation. Quick one. Should celebrities even step into WWE storylines, or should the ring stay strictly for wrestlers? Let the comments decide. Inside the ring, the energy shifted again. Silence fell. That eerie, heavy silence that signals something dangerous is about to unfold. Then came the sound everyone recognizes instantly. Voices. And just like that, everything changed. Randy Orton appeared, slow, composed, calculated. Every step deliberate, every movement controlled. Like a predator already confident in the outcome. His eyes locked forward. No acknowledgement of celebrity status. Only focus. Only intent. The two stood across from each other. Two worlds colliding under one spotlight. Orton grabbed a microphone first. No greeting. No respect. No patience. Just one cold, cutting question. Why are you here? Not curiosity. A warning. Because in Orton's world, stepping into his space comes with consequences. Jelly Roll stepped forward. No hesitation. No fear. And instead of backing down, he fired back. This wasn't about fame. Not about attention. It was about calling Orton out. The crowd reacted instantly, shock, excitement, disbelief. Because very few people dare to confront Randy Orton like that. Time to decide. Was that bravery or pure recklessness? Comment brave or reckless. Jelly Roll spoke about respect, about integrity, about how Orton, despite his legendary status, had crossed lines too many times. That statement? It hit hard, because questioning Randy Orton's legacy is like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. And Orton's reaction? A slow smile. Not amusement. Not approval. Something far more dangerous. Enjoyment. Because Orton thrives in moments like this, moments where tension turns into violence. He stepped closer. No words. Just presence. Jelly Roll didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't back down. The crowd was on edge, knowing this could erupt at any second. Then it happened. Orton dropped the mic. The sound echoed like a signal. Jelly Roll stayed planted. Unshaken. At that exact moment, would standing ground still feel like the right choice? Or would survival take priority? Orton leaned in, whispering something barely audible. But the reaction said everything. Jelly Roll wasn't intimidated. He was ready. The tension skyrocketed. Fans screamed. Chants filled the arena. Sides were forming. This was no longer just a segment. This was personal. And then, the line was crossed. Jelly Roll shoved Randy Orton. Not aggressively enough to knock him down, but more than enough to send a message. The arena erupted. Because now there was no turning back. Orton didn't strike immediately. That's not his style. Instead, he stepped back slightly, tilting his head, analyzing. That's what makes him dangerous. Patience. Precision. Timing. In a real fight. Who takes it? Jelly Roll or Randy Orton? No safe answers. Pick one. Jelly Roll kept pushing, verbally challenging. refusing to retreat. And with every second, tension built closer to the breaking point. Everyone knew what was coming. That moment when Orton snaps. Then, out of nowhere, Orton lunged. RKO attempt. But somehow Jelly Roll avoided it. The reaction? Absolute chaos. Because nobody expects that. Nobody escapes the RKO so easily. For a split second, Orton paused. Not shaken, but surprised. And that made the situation even more dangerous. Jelly Roll stood tall, breathing heavy, but still defiant. Still present. Still refusing to break. Security rushed in immediately. Officials flooded the ring, forcing separation. But the damage had already been done. The message was clear. This wasn't finished. Should this turn into an actual match? Yes or no? Drop it right now. Orton remained in the ring, staring as Jelly Roll was escorted away. That stare. Cold. Unforgiving. Calculated. Not anger. A promise. Because history has shown one thing about Randy Orton. He doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. And when the moment is right, he strikes. Jelly Roll didn't look back. Not once. Confidence? Defiance? Or a dangerous miscalculation? The show moved on. But the moment didn't. Social media exploded. Fans debated. Opinions clashed. Lines were drawn. Because this wasn't just entertainment. This was conflict. Was Jelly Roll right to step up? Or did he awaken something far more dangerous than expected? Final call. Should Jelly Roll apologize or come back even harder and challenge Orton again? This wasn't just a confrontation. It was the start of something unpredictable. Something volatile. Something that could spiral into chaos. And if this feels like the end, history says otherwise. Because Randy Orton always finishes what he starts. And Jelly Roll just became the next target. And that target? It doesn't just fade away, it gets hunted. Because when Randy Orton locks in on someone, history has shown exactly how this plays out. Slow. Methodical. Painful. The arena may have moved on that night, but the tension didn't leave with the cameras. It followed Jelly Roll backstage. Backstage wasn't calm. It wasn't controlled. It was chaos. Officials were shouting, security still on edge, superstars watching from a distance, because everyone knew what had just happened wasn't normal. This wasn't a celebrity cameo gone wrong. This was a spark. And sparks around Randy Orton? They turn into wildfires. Jelly Roll paced the hallway, adrenaline still pumping, jaw clenched, eyes locked forward. No regret. No hesitation. Just intensity. And that's what made this even more dangerous. Because most people after a moment like that start second-guessing. Not him. Be real. Should Jelly Roll have backed off after dodging that RKO? Or was standing tall the right move? A backstage interviewer approached carefully, microphone in hand, clearly unsure of what kind of response they were about to get. At this point, is this still a confrontation? Or has it become something much more serious? Jelly Roll stepped forward too, despite security trying to hold him back. That same defiance. That same refusal to step away. Two paths. One collision course. And then, Orton stopped. Just a few steps away. Close enough to strike. Close enough to end it right there. But he didn't. Instead, he spoke. Low. Cold. Precise. Next time there won't be anyone to stop me. No shouting. No theatrics. Just a promise. And somehow, that was worse than an attack. Jelly Roll didn't respond right away. For the first time all night, there was a pause. But then, he stepped closer anyway. Was that confidence or walking straight into danger? Security panicked, immediately pulling both sides apart, forcing distance again. Voices raised. Tension spiking. Chaos building. But the message had already been delivered. This wasn't a one-time clash. This was the beginning of something that could spiral out of control. The camera lingered as Orton turned away, walking back into the shadows without another word. No glance back. No hesitation. That's what makes him terrifying. He doesn't need to prove anything in the moment. He lets it build. He lets it linger. And then, when the time is right, he strikes when it matters most. Should WWE make this official before things get even more dangerous, or let it play out naturally? The next morning, the fallout was everywhere. Clips circulating, fans arguing, debates raging across every platform. Some stood with Jelly Roll, finally someone bold enough to challenge Orton. Others called it reckless, stepping into a world he doesn't belong in. And right in the middle of it all, one undeniable truth. Randy Orton had been provoked. And history shows that never ends quietly. Because legends don't just defend their reputation. They protect it. At any cost. Jelly Roll made a statement. A loud one. A fearless one. But statements come with consequences. Final decision. Who takes control of this story moving forward? Jelly Roll or Randy Orton? The stage is set. The tension is real. And the next chapter? It won't be about words. It won't be about warnings. It will be about impact. And when that moment comes, only one question will matter. Who survives it?